Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Latte with a Lawyer. I'm your host, Jonathan Brickman, and this afternoon we have with us Marcy Spitz, and she's from the firm of Massive. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I ask everybody this question to keep with the theme of the show, Latte with a Lawyer. What's your morning beverage of choice or afternoon?
Morning beverage is ice water, actually. One Diet Coke a day, as I'm embarrassed to admit that. So.
No reason to be embarrassed. That's fine. We get a whole host of answers to that question.
So, okay.
So, yeah. Well, it's already afternoon. And you're in Michigan, right? Where are you?
I'm in Michigan. Yes, I am.
Where exactly in Michigan?
I'm in Sylvan Lake, Michigan, about half hour outside of Detroit.
Oh, okay. Oh, one of the suburbs that go around Detroit?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I used to go to Detroit a good bit. I used to refer to like a donut, right? It was like haul it out in the middle. You had all these nice suburbs around it.
Yes, exactly. And and this time of year is actually beautiful here with all the fall colors.
I'm sure it's nice. And Detroit certainly has changed a lot over the years. So I have to ask you a question just because of the name. You're not related to Mark Spitz, are you?
No relation. I do swim a great deal. No, not related at all. I did finally get to meet him a couple years ago. He was in town and his son plays basketball. And I went up to him because I have been asked since I was a little girl, whether I was related to him. And now as I get older, people look at you like, as I'm spelling my name out and I will say Mark, and they do not know who he even is. So,
yeah, of course. No one knows. But how old is he now? He's not a young guy anymore.
He's in his 60s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Anyway, he was a great swimmer. So yeah, I see you're into.
Yeah. I would have been Mark had I been a boy, which would have been kind of fun. Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
So all right. So tell us about your I have to admit, I don't really understand what your business is. So tell everybody about your what you do.
Okay, so I'm an ERISA attorney by trade. ERISA is a federal statute that governs over health and pension benefits. So my career started after law school. My first job out of law school was in Washington, D.C. with the Department of Labor in the Pension and Welfare Benefits Administration, which is now called EBSA. And so I started off in the ERISA space and learned all about it on the government's dollar. And it was on the pension side of the federal statute. We investigated large pension plans all over the country to make sure they were in compliance with federal statutes, rules, and regulations. And it was, protecting people's pension benefits.
Okay.
I was there for about 4 years in Washington, D.C., transferred to the Detroit office, came back home after being in DC for a while, because Detroit, as I just told you, was home. Stayed with them for about 2 years, went into private practice, and I was on the opposite side, making sure plans were in compliance with tax code, with Department of Labor regulations, making sure benefits, disputes, and things were done properly. And stayed there for about 8 years in private practice and took off a few years to raise my 3 children, and then went back into the workforce about 3 years later and went on to the health side, parlayed that ERISA experience in the health benefit world. There's in the insurance industry.
Okay.
Do you want to continue or do you want?
Yes, we can edit it out. Don't worry.
Sorry. Okay. So went back to a previous employer who was a personal injury firm, and he needed and had some vision of someone doing the subrogation for his firm. In personal injury firms, to try and summarize it very like succinctly, is that a personal injury firm, a plaintiff who is injured, has an insurer that pays for the medical malpractice.
Sure.
Let's say, let's use that as an example. The Blue Cross or Medicare, Medicaid, whoever the insurer might be, has subrogation provisions in their contract with the claimant, with the participant in the plan. Says, if you recover for this surgery that we have paid for, we stand in your shoes and we get paid for that surgery, because you are recovering for the surgery plus damages. So you're actually getting double benefits. And so
Right.
it was called subrogation, and every personal injury case, be it automobile accident or a mass tort situation where a product or a service or something has injured you. So in a, like, we're handling Roundup cases, let's say,
Yeah.
right now. Flint water crisis, opioids, those kinds of mass tort injuries, in addition to medical malpractice and personal injury claims. So that is called subrogation, and you need to settle the subrogation claims with each insurance company that could be asserting a lien, that has a right to assert a lien on the case. And so I did this. I started off in this health space doing it for a personal injury firm. The owner of the firm had hired an alternate company at the time and didn't feel like they did a very good job, adequate job. I learned under that scenario and then provided those services to his firm, created an LLC with his son, and created a business that not only serviced that personal injury firm, but we serviced firms from all over the country.
Okay.
So we get hired by a law firm, a personal injury law firm that handles either single events or mass torts, and we provide lien resolution services. We can be appointed as a lien resolution administrator in a mass tort type settlement, or we can be hired by a personal injury firm to handle their specific cases on, automobile accidents, medical malpractice claims, any kind of injury claims where there is some kind of medical injury, some kind of medical recovery where an insurance company is involved.
Okay. So,
I know that's probably a lot to say.
no. I mean, we do a lot of work with personal injury, so I get that. So for every personal injury case, is there always a claim and a lien?
As long as there was a medical provider, which somebody it was involved in paying the bills. So, I mean, every single time you can have a non-insured claim or somebody who wasn't covered by any kind of insurance. Under those circumstances, you could have a hospital lien, or somebody's asserting some kind of reimbursement / subrogation claim to recover the costs that they spent on that injury.
Okay, so they have to get covered first. So is it one-to-one? So in other words, they cover $100,000 of $1 million claim. When there's a settlement, they're getting paid back that $100,000 that they provided, right?
Theoretically, right.
Okay.
However, when they assert the claim, what happens is, like, Medicare asserts a claim for recovery on what they've paid out. When the claimant goes into the hospital, they come in with pre-existing conditions or other ailments that they could be treated for during the time.
Right, so it's not that straightforward, but
Not that
just to
straightforward.
simplify it, there is some claim that someone can recover if there's a settlement. I say, and you're making sure that that claimant recovers what they're owed.
Right. We're trying to make sure that they get paid what they're entitled to, but only what they're entitled to.
Right.
We're trying to make sure that the law firm discharges their duty to their client and to the lien holder.
Oh, I see, because you're working for the personal injury
I'm
fund.
working for the person who's injured.
So you don't want to pay them too much. You just want to pay what you have to.
We just want to pay what we have to. And what happens is there's quite a few unrelated charges that can show up on the claim summary on any.
Interesting.
So you sue a doctor for injuries to your leg, you go in with congestive heart failure or issues with your eyes, or, you know, some other kind of chronic illness that you may have had beforehand. Blue Cross or Medicare or Medicaid, whoever the insurers, they were going to pay for those medical expenses anyways. You had those injuries, you know, or the medical conditions prior to the malpractice that was committed to your leg.
Right. Got it. So how do you get paid? Are you part of that contingency fee that the personal injury lawyer gets at the end of the day? No.
So we charge an administrative fee plus a sliding scale fee based on what we recover, based on, or the reduction in what the lien started off as, and with a maximum amount.
I see. Okay.
So the law firm and our firm have a contract that entitles us to our fees. How the law firm chooses to, like which part of the settlement it comes from, whether it's, you know, viewed as an expense or and comes off the top or comes from the claimants. It just depends on the law firm, the state, the practice in that geographic.
Got it. I see. Okay. Now I understand. I had no idea, but now I understand.
Yep.
So there's a lien. There's a lien on future expenses, or
It's not really future,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. Got it. Okay. You're a lender. I mean, they're lenders essentially, and they're recovering their
They're
sort of like a lender.
yeah, I mean,
I know they're not real. I'm
not
mixing the
really a
terms.
lender, right? I mean, they are, you have an insurance company that you have a contract with to provide your medical care.
Yeah.
So that through that medical care, however, they don't, you know, the care is viewed as that you're not going to pay twice for that
Yeah.
same, you know, you're not going to get reimbursed for that twice.
So you're probably a very skilled, you know, attorney and negotiator. You're dealing with more bureaucratic people at a healthcare center. Must be, right?
Yes, we deal with lien holders from all over, and third-party administrators that represent some of the private Medicare or medical health insurers. So those are different entities around the country that handle some of those, and then Medicare, Medicaid, the VA, any kind of private health insurance. And so we examine plan language, you know, federal regulations, depending on who governs over that particular healthcare provider.
Got it. Okay, interesting. I mean, I could drill down on this all day long, I suppose, but I get it. So you're working with the personal injury attorneys or mass tort
Firms
really
that-
to help them maximize what they put in their pocket, really.
maximizing the plaintiff's recovery.
The
Yes.
plaintiff's recovery. Yeah, that's right.
We're trying to reduce the lien as much as possible within legal confines and you know, factual circumstances.
Sure.
To you know, to enable the plaintiffs, the claimants in the case, the participants under the insurance plan to recover as much as they are legally entitled to.
Got it. So how many, I mean, I haven't heard, how many firms are there like yours across the country?
It's a good question. I mean, there's some major firms around the country that do this, some
Yeah.
large, you know, and then there's some smaller firms that have come up, you know, there was the firm that I had learned from, or, you know, being a part of that when I entered into this lien resolution space for the private firm when I first got started. And they have been bought out a few times and merged with a company without, you know, naming names. And they have diversified a lot of their services, not just focusing on the lien resolution aspect of it. Our firm specializes in lien resolution administration. And so we are able to provide, top-notch services. We have excellent relationships with our lien holders and third-party administrators. We are, I feel very reputable. And when you focus on anything, I think, you really provide, I think, better services.
Absolutely. Focus is the key.
Yeah.
Interesting. So tell us about how you got here. I see you got a real conflict in your history, Michigan and Michigan State.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Isn't that a problem in the state of Michigan?
Especially it's relevant this week too. We've got the big game this week. So
Yeah.
Michigan State plays Saturday night.
Wow. I don't know how you live with that. I got relatives that went to Michigan and Michigan State. I know there's just like a age-old rivalry, right?
Oh yeah, it's a big week here. A lot of banter in the family texts and family chats this week. We are very much a house divided in house personally, and more extended family as well. So I went to Michigan undergrad, University of Michigan undergrad, so blue and yellow, and then went to Michigan State University green and white law school. So me personally, I feel like I am entitled to root for whoever I feel like at any time because I went to both.
Nice.
And yes, the state is insane. And because the schools are only about an hour apart, the weekend that the two play football game in the fall is, regardless of where it is, it's heavily attended by both.
Oh, so, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sea of green and white and blue and yellow, and it is a whole lot of fun. So
yeah. I have extended family that live in Detroit. You probably know who they are if I mention them. I'm guessing, but yeah, they got the two sides split there too. But so how did you decide to become a lawyer? Like, tell me about that. Like, how you got started.
So, I I think I always wanted to advocate. I was always wanting to be a woman in the business profession, in the business world. I felt strongly about using my advocacy skills, I think, in my academic pursuits, my professional pursuits. I think being from I grew up with a heavy influence of grandparents. And so a lot of the elderly issues that I saw and was a part of as they got older very much interested me in the sense that I wanted to make sure that they were cared for, and that, I also grew up, I think, my father was an engineer at General Motors, and benefits, pension benefits, health benefits were always very strong, very robust plans, which I think, as a kid, I don't know if you pay that close attention to, but as you get older, you realize that those were very significant benefits, to have, and nothing to be taken for granted. So in terms of something that I wanted to pursue once I did get on, did go advanced law school, I think that was an area, that really, sparked an interest in me and a personal passion to make sure that and that's where I think Department of Labor came into play, and pension benefits, health benefits. It's funny because I always stress that in my own children, that, when we go to the doctors, when the kids were little, I tell them how valuable the health card was. And they would look at me like, what is this lady talking about? And so that's something that they grew up with, and I think and had an appreciation for. And even now, they're all in grad school right now. And,
Any lawyers?
Two in law school, one in business school. So
Okay.
Yeah, so they're following some traditions there. And Michigan State too divided. So in terms of the division in the state, it's all good though. The academics are good, and the professional pursuits are excellent. So.
Oh, good. Actually, my son got accepted to Michigan State, which he
okay.
didn't go to. He stayed closer on the East Coast. He's going to Drexel, but he was accepted to Michigan State. I was actually interested in him going there, but he didn't want any part of it. I'm not even sure why he applied there, but.
Did you visit the campus?
No.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Didn't.
campus.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
different. The two cities, Ann Arbor and East Lansing, are very different, but
Right.
both beautiful in their own right.
Yes. I do know that. Okay. So, and then, but so you don't miss the traditional, law practice or?
I don't think I do. I mean, I have thought about that more recently, in the last couple of years, as my kids have gotten older, running a business, running massive, really enables me to wear many hats. I handle cases for the firm, but I also help run a business.
Okay.
So I think that in that respect, it gives you a lot of different perspectives. I think you are always advocating in any position, whether you're an attorney or not. I mean, so
Yes.
you are always, pushing your services, presenting your services, selling your services. And I also have the opportunity to work on cases, with my ERISA background. That's kind of been my niche, is the ERISA cases, some of the more plan intensive language that is required of some of the ERISA, the private plans. So which I feel fortunate that I'm able to do that and run the business.
That's funny. What kind of dog you have?
We have a puppy that's almost 6 months old, a golden retriever.
Okay. Got it. I was gonna say, it sounded like a big dog. I have a little tiny Shih Tzu poodle mix.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it barks all the time, so.
She doesn't, she's dogs that she's seeing right now. So sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so anyway, interesting. So you got 2 lawyers in the making in a business school. Okay, good. And anyone your parents, were they lawyers?
Nope. My father was an engineer and my mom, pretty much a homemaker, growing up, and has been doing some things, after we were grown and out of school. So.
Got it.
No, I worked for family friends though that were attorneys growing up, and was, strongly influenced by them in their careers and the desire to be in the professional world, to be in the advocacy world. So I had a great deal of exposure. I think I begged a family friend in like 9th grade to go and work for him during the summer. And so that kind of gave me, it fueled that passion, that interest that I had in the legal field. And I really, I do look back on it. I didn't waver much. I wanted to go to law school. And I did. I mean, I took a year off in between undergrad and law school, but I always wanted to go back. I wanted that degree. I wanted the ability to be able to represent others who couldn't represent themselves. And you asked before about the traditional practice. It's not a traditional law firm, but I am representing the interests of others that are not able to represent themselves.
Yeah.
So in a less direct way, but we do help, plaintiffs all over the country and maximize their settlements. And,
Sure.
that they're getting what they're entitled to. So.
Yep. Actually, I have a brother actually who's going through a personal injury case today. Right now, and in Massachusetts, and I didn't even think about the Medicare, because he is on Medicaid, and he did mention the recovery. I didn't really understand it completely, but now I do. So thank you for sharing that.
It's interesting. I don't think a lot of people understand what and how that works.
Yeah.
And even some of the attorneys, even some of them that we represent that we're hired by, I'm not sure understand all the nuances and intricacies involved in some of this, except for the fact that it will come back to haunt them, and they are on the hook, as well as the plaintiffs. If the plaintiffs do not satisfy their obligation to pay the liens, their insurance can be cut off, and legally the attorney representing them can be pursued.
Got it.
It's something that you want to take seriously, and it's not an optional practice.
I see. Okay. Now I'm glad I'm speaking to you, because now I understand it. So how do you get these engagements with personal injury attorneys? Do you market to them? Is it word of mouth, all of the above? Yeah.
All of the above. I
Yeah.
just came home from 2 conferences.
Okay.
Women's conference out in Aspen,
Yeah.
in the mass tort arena. You know, the diversity in all areas of the world, and women included, are really organizing and being better represented in the mass tort arena.
Oh, good.
We market to law firms all over, word of mouth, attending conferences, attending meetings, seminars, speaking, webinars. We had to pivot pretty quickly, just like most,
Yeah.
once the world shut down a couple years ago. So, you know, we were doing our best to partner with other organizations and providing our own webinars, educating our clients and or interested parties on this area, and you know, hoping to attract new business, and continuing to do so. And now as the world opens up, obviously traveling, you know, and
Yeah.
attending.
MCMP, did you go to that event?
I just got back from Mass Tort Made Perfect.
Oh, you
Yes.
did go to that. Okay, yes. I'm going tomorrow night to Las Vegas for Trial Lawyers University event.
Oh,
Do you know
great.
that organization?
Yes, I am familiar with it. Yes, we are not attending it, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you're actively out there marketing and attending events and trying to grow the business.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're not doing that regularly, you're probably not much of a business. I mean, I feel like there's never enough, and
Right.
you know, you really want to continue to keep your foothold out there and making sure that clients and interested parties are keeping up in the area and understanding what their obligations are.
But how much can you scale? I mean, it doesn't look like you're that big of a firm, so how much can you take on?
We have, you know, we have a lot of large mass torts.
Okay.
And, you know, we have staff and the ability to handle, you know, any kind, any size, in addition to our single event cases as well.
Yeah.
And firms that have hundreds of cases. So, you know, the mass torts, even though there may be 5,000-10,000 cases in a mass tort, they're handled differently in a collective manner, which
Right.
you probably don't want to
Yeah.
get in great detail about that. But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not individually doing 10,000 cases, let's
Yeah,
say.
no, I get that part. But wait, is it the bulk of your business mass torts?
I don't know the percentage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm
it's,
just wondering how many cases can you handle? I mean, you have the ability to handle, you know, hundreds, thousands of cases during the year?
sure.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now I wasn't sure like the load that you could handle. I didn't know how much involvement that takes with a case.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just depends on the
Yeah.
case and you know, the lien holder, you know, in a single event case. I mean, we handle thousands of cases that we have, you know, single event, and then thousands of cases in the mass tort arena as
Oh,
well.
okay.
I really don't know the percentage, the breakdown.
Yeah. No, just curious. I mean, so I would imagine, and I'm curious about this because, you know, we're a legal tech business. You know, what kind of technology do you use to run the business and leverage and get operational leverage?
So we have proprietary software that we use
Okay.
to in both the mass tort and the single event side, and we use that for like a case tracking system.
Yeah.
And we use that to examine liens, intake of correspondence. We have a portal that our clients can log on to see what their liens are at any given time, or you know, they need a status update, in addition to emailing and calls to our staff as well. But they do have that access so that it's completely transparent and very service oriented to make sure that clients are up to date and have what they need at any given time. If they have a mediation or any kind of, you know, negotiation event coming up, or have those, you know, those needs at any time.
Yeah, got it. And how many people in the firm now?
Oh, we just had a quarterly meeting, I think 33.
Okay. And you work remotely, you go into an office?
We work remotely.
Okay. Was that,
We have
is that
staff.
post-COVID thing or always?
We had some remote workers prior to COVID, and we've kind of proven, I mean, not kind of, we have proven that we are able to exist and thrive in a remote setting. So, I mean, like a lot of businesses out there that have been able to do that. So,
Yes, absolutely. Excellent. So let me, just to sort of wind it down a little bit here. What would you recommend to somebody who's coming up, maybe your kids who want to be lawyers? I mean, would you recommend taking this path? What would your advice be?
yeah, I mean, I think the education that provided by law school is outstanding. I think the analytics, the preparation that you have, the ability and part of the educational process provided in law school is very beneficial. I mean, even just contracts, you know, the basic contract principles. I mean, my kids have just gone through, I've got a 2L and a 3L, and, you know, they're amazed at their learning and how valuable and how real life it is, you know, its application in what they're learning. So, you know, are they a contract specialist or, you know, expert? No, but they understand and now know what to look for. And I think that that is something that as a lawyer and with the training going to law school, I think it really provides a great overview of very real life
Got it.
skills that you need. So yes, I would recommend, and I do think it's never going to go to waste.
Yeah.
So
And what
many
about what you're doing? Are they going to fall in your footsteps?
I don't know. I have my daughter actually really likes the ERISA space. She is pursuing the healthcare arena. Yet to be determined whether she, you know, lands her first job in that space, but it's something that she feels very passionate about. And is working in a disability clinic right now and really likes the whole healthcare area. She was a lobbyist in DC for a while for a healthcare organization. And my son looks like he is pursuing real estate. He's got an environmental background. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's your MBA?
no, that's the other lawyer.
Oh, that's the other lawyer. Who's getting the MBA?
My youngest is getting the MBA.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, and he's going into consulting. That's where he is pursuing his talents. So
Okay, good. They're going to work hard. They're all going to work hard.
I hope so. I foresee at some point in the near future that they will be off the payroll, which is what I'm looking.
That's
for.
right.
So
All right. Yep. I have a long way, unfortunately, to go on that one.
sounds like it. Yeah.
But all right, well, this is really interesting. I learned a lot about your business, but I didn't know anything about, so I appreciate that. Just parting words. What do you want everybody to know about your firm, and best way to get in touch with you?
I mean, what I want people to know is that lien resolution is a very important part of any personal injury matter. And Massive really does their very best to make sure that their clients are well served and well represented. And we take our job very seriously, and our ability to communicate, to be transparent, and to work on your client's behalf, on the firm's behalf, is our of utmost priority. How to get in touch with me? You can reach out to me by email, cell. It's all on our website, on the Massive website. I think, you know, in the remote world, it's very easy to access people these days. So responsive. There's usually no delay. I will get back with you that day. We have very talented people in our company, and myself or somebody at our company will respond to you as quick as possible.
Excellent. Good. All right. Thank you very much for that. So it's been our pleasure to spend time with Marcy Spitz, no relation to Mark Spitz, from the firm of Massive. And this show is sponsored by EmotionTrac with a C, and we are a legal tech platform that helps litigators mainly prepare for mediation and trials. And thank you very much, Marcy.
Thank you.